War, a state of armed conflict between different countries or different groups within a country. Japan declared war on Germany. There are 36 million dead people for every letter of the word war. 36 million dead men, women, and children since the dawn of the 20th century. 108 million altogether. So with this mind-boggling, misguided, mass-murdering statistic fresh in your mind, I ask you this. Can we, as a race of intelligent, compassionate people, all of us different yet similar, justify 108 million deaths? Our entire New Zealand population, 27 times over? That's war. I'll say here and now, I have never witnessed combat. I have never fired a gun bigger than your average air rifle, and I have never seen anyone die right in front of me. Have you? Because while I am in the majority of teenagers all around the world, there are 300,000 child soldiers out there whose every day is a living nightmare. 40% of armed forces, including national armies, militias, and terrorist organizations all around the world, employ the use of child soldiers. This doesn't sound like a good situation to be in, and I can guarantee no one here would enjoy that experience. But what if it wasn't you? Imagine your younger brother, your younger sister, being snatched away without as much as a second's warning to fight in a war that could result in death or worse. You have no idea what's going on. They could be dead, they could still be alive. You have no idea. Could you sleep at night? I know I couldn't. And there doesn't even have to be any warning, such as the Anglo-Zanzibar War of 1896, which was declared, fought, and won by British forces within 45 minutes. 45 minutes. 2,700 seconds. That's the length of a school period on Wednesdays, and it wouldn't even give you enough time to finish an episode of your favourite TV show. The war was engaged due to a change in leadership in the nation of Zanzibar, and British forces, deciding they preferred another candidate for leadership, opened fire with the Royal Navy against the National House of Parliament, and the battle began. Widespread destruction and the deaths of many Zanzibar militants meant that the short-lived president, Khalid bin Bargash, was forced to flee and was never seen again. This isn't the only example of conflict that is seemingly finished before it starts. The Six-Day War between Israel, Egypt, Syria, Jordan, and Iraq only lasted 6 days, as one might guess, but cost 27,000 men their lives. 4,500 men every day. And yet with all of this death, all of these numbers, this isn't even the most horrifying statistic that tells us the truth about war. Scientists from all around the world have compared historical evidence and have estimated that any number up to 1 billion people have died in all wars since the beginning of recorded human history. That's 15% of everyone alive today. Now, let me remind you, that's 1 billion as in 1, followed by 9 zeros. Or, if it makes more sense to think about it like this, our New Zealand population 250 times over. No, it doesn't really bear thinking about. But this isn't even the only problem. There is the literal cost, the money, the dosh, the dough, whatever you call it. $32 billion of it was spent by the United States of America during World War I. This was, and still is today, the most costly period of time in American history, but things got worse before they got better. By the time Adolf Hitler came around and invaded the land that he believed was unjustly taken away by the German people in World War II, the cost got higher. The total cost, split between the United States, Germany, Russia, Britain, Italy, and Japan, was $1.075 trillion, which, due to inflation, would become $11,292,682,078,166.46 by the time 2005 rolled around. The US alone paid $345 million, which would inflate today to $3,582,000,000,000. You know what? Why don't we just say this? They paid what is now 23% of their national debt. So, there are pretty big casualties in the bank and on the battlefield, but it seems unjust to just think about the literal cost of war, or wars as it were, and not truly focus on the lives and the deaths that each conflict ruined. So I ask you again, with all of these facts and figures fresh in your mind, with the ideas and emotions of losing a sibling to war right there, While you consider the more lasting consequences that war can bring on, I ask you, is war justifiable? To everyone that may hear this speech, I can guess your answer. No. But then, think about this. What do you do when a fascist, unforgiving, psychopathic dictator storms your borders, knocks down your walls, and kills your best friend right in front of you? You don't stand idle by, watching the only world you know come crashing down on your shoulders like a bloody, unstoppable wave. You push back, you fight. And when thousands of people fight back, and they gather under the banner of a nation, that's what war is. It's freedom, it's justice, it's massacre, it's a victory, it's right, and it's a wrong. But can it be justified? I would say no, but then who am I? A 16-year-old high school student whose closest encounter with war would probably be Call of Duty. You really want to know the answer? Can you justify the deaths of millions, possibly a billion, to war? Can you justify fighting for what is rightfully yours, no matter who tries to take it from you? Drop into a war zone, spend a day, a week, or a month as a soldier, and see how you feel. Do I know if war is justifiable? No, and I pray I will never find out.